Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Funk and I'm a registered dietitian in the area. I specifically work in the community as a registered dietitian specifically for childhood obesity prevention and treatment. And today we're going to discuss a really important topic to me, but especially regarding your toddlers. So what we're going to discuss today is activity and playtime, which just means how often your child is off the couch doing something, whether it's, playing with blocks or, riding their scooter or their bike or anything like that. Just really anything that gets them off the couch, standing, moving in any type of way, whether they're sitting and moving, anything. But keeping your child active and limiting their screen time is a really important task to balance. And it's hard. It's really hard as a parent because you want to let your kids do the things they want to do, but then also the things that are good for them and really get like their energy out. You'll sleep better at night because, if they're sitting on a couch all day, they're not really burning the energy. And I mean, as parents, your child has a lot of energy, a lot of excess energy to burn. So sitting on the couch really isn't going to help with that. But it's important for their health and their growth as they get older too. But today we're going to discuss some ways to keep your child active, but still make it fun so it doesn't feel like work. We never want our child to feel like, being active is work. It's a task. You want them to want to do it. You want it to be enticing. You want it to be fun. So the first thing I always suggest to a parent is try to do something that you don't have to really necessarily leave the house or the neighborhood for. So, as a family, maybe at night, like, oh, let's all go for a walk, ride bikes, or even if you stand outside while your child rides bike back and forth, rollerblading, anything like that. Like I said, riding their scooter, anything, skateboard, whatever it might be, just outside riding some kind of vehicle. So another thing is, going in the yard and playing catch, kicking a ball, frisbee, anything like that, cornhole, just anything that gets them outside and moving is really a good option. Even when you go for walks, if you have a wagon or something like that, take that with you. Sometimes kids like to feel like they're doing something if they can bring their favorite toy and bring it along with them. But also I feel like the wagon is a really good tool in case they do get tired because, they are pre-K children, they might get tired. That way you can give them a little break and put them in it and then, get back out when they feel like they're ready. But pulling it along is another great way to get them involved and get them active. One thing I really always like to suggest to parents whose child really likes music or a song or anything, put on their favorite music and just see if you can get up and get them dancing. Dance with them, like get silly, whatever it is. They'll enjoy it. They'll get, some energy out and just feel better all around. But like I said, anything that just gets them off the couch, away from the electronics, behind the screen, anything like that is going to be beneficial for them. The next thing I always suggest is most communities do have a YMCA or they have a rec center. And your child may already be involved in that, but there are so many activities that they offer. So what I brought in today is first I'll show you for a local rec center, I brought in a special events calendar just for you guys to take home with you so you have this as a reference, to join some of these events. But I have a picture of the rec center as well as a calendar. So the first one is called Art in the Park. So that's not really active in the sense that you might think it is, but you could still go out as a family, walk around. That's still getting them out of the house, active, fresh air. And this one's free. So most of them are free. One of them has a slight charge to it, and that's the triathlon. But that would be a really fun way as a family as well, or even if you just go and support your child, team building experience, things like that. But the rest of them are mostly just open pool, which is also really, really good exercise. I know swimming doesn't always seem like it because most people really enjoy it, but swimming is a great form of exercise. It's a great way, to cool off in the summer, to take your kid to do something, and it doesn't cost anything, just they'll have a good time swimming, meet other kids, have fun. But I also brought one for the YMCA, and this is specifically for young children of your child's age from 2 to 5. They have multiple types of activities. So some of our dance classes, like I mentioned before, if that's fun for you or your child, there's something on here called Terrific 2s and 3s, which I think is fun because they're making it positive. Tumbling, kind of like gymnastics for young kids, not too intensive, which is also fun. Kids love that one. But my personal favorite is a superhero training party. Boys and girls alike love superheroes, and it just seems like a fun way to get them out of the house and excited. You tell them it's a superhero, it's kind of got a theme to it. So the rec centers and the YMCA's are really, really good resources for you to use to get your child out of the house and active. Another thing about rec centers, though, that I think is really great, but as well as parks, are like playgrounds. Taking your kids out and going to playgrounds is a really good experience for them too, because they might meet other children, you might meet other parents, set up play dates, set times back to meet if they make friends. They might get excited to, oh, let's go to the park and see if so-and-so's there. But there's just so many things for a child to do at a park, whether they're sliding down a slide or they're climbing up the ladder or they're running around or they're digging in the sandbox or whatever it might be. There's so many different activities for a child at a park, which again is free. And I think a big important part about this is just getting the fresh air, getting them outside is a really, really beneficial thing for them. And lastly, what I like to bring up is sports, whether it be, like I mentioned, gymnastics, tumbling, any type of sport like that. I know that for like young kids, maybe like closer to 4 or 5, they can do like flag football, soccer, things like that, which, like I said, good team building experiences. They make friends, and that might entice them to go to practices and choose they want to see their friends, and they'll have a good time together. They feel like they bond. But you never, again, as I mentioned in the beginning, you don't want to force your kid into a sport. Try and find something that they might be interested in, just because you don't ever want it to feel like a chore. You don't want them to dread doing it, because the point of this is really to make them want to do it without you having to ask them to do it. We want the end goal is them to ask you, like, hey, can we go for a bike ride? Or hey, can we go to the park? Like, they are going to be enjoying these things, enjoying being active, enjoying doing things with you. It's a good bonding experience for you and your child as well to do things. It's memories. You're, building good memories for them. But as you can see, there's so many different ways that you can get your child active, whether it's at home, it's at a rec center, it's at the YMCA, or it's at the park. And I know a lot of YMCA's as well have after-school programs. So let's say, if you have to work, you can't pick your kid up, they ride the bus. Maybe instead of sending them home, you can send them to a YMCA where they can be doing activities and being with other children and, just staying active, staying out of the house, which it's always really good. But as I mentioned, anything that gets them off the couch, behind the screen, is going to be very beneficial for their health and growth. And good social bonding experiences for your child and you. You might, like I said, meet other parents, things like that. And you may have play dates in the future, which is another positive thing. So just to reiterate all the positives about this, I'm definitely going to send everyone home with these handouts so that way you can really join some of these things. I really strongly encourage it because they are fun. And your kids will enjoy them too. And you will benefit from this because, as I mentioned before, these kids need to be burning this energy. They'll sleep better at night and they'll focus better. When you sleep better, you're more rested, and it's better for them to not spend so much time sitting. Kids need to be active, and it's really good for them. So just going to end with that. And if anyone has any questions, you just go ahead and let me know. I'm here, free to talk. And if you need any more resources, I'd be happy to look for things for you. Just let me know.